Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck and Cooper, and I'm here to do my weekly reading update for May 5th, 2024. So this week was so long. Like, I don't know. I was feeling better for most of it. I'm still kind of not 100% yet. I keep hoping I'm gonna be 100%, but not yet. It keeps coming and going. And then I had a training on Thursday that I was really stressed out about. I had to learn how to do the forklift at work, and I've been putting this off because I did not want to do it. I don't want the responsibility of a, several ton machine that, picks up things. Anyway, because, I just don't have I don't think I had the best vision for depth perception with that. But anyway, they wanted me to have it so I would be a backup, or would be able to help with the receiving part. I get it. It's not like part of my job. Like, it's not in my job description, but several of the other people who have the same position as I do have learned so that they're backups as well. So yeah, I was kind of forced to, and I'm not happy about it. It was not a fun time. I survived, and yes, it'll be a learning curve for me to get better at it, but it was just stressful. This week was just stressful with that. And again, I'm still not 100%, so I pulled some weird muscle in the back of my head at the top of my neck. It popped or something in bed on Wednesday, and so I've been barely able to turn my neck, or to turn very well. Like, I'm better today, but I'm still not, I can still feel it, but the last couple days I had really stiff neck too, and that did not help with the whole forklift training. Anyway, so it's been a week. Let me tell you about that. So, nothing else beyond that. I can't think of anything else. That's it. That's kind of the update for the week. So, let's talk about the books that I read, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week, which I'm not really sure what's going to happen. So I did DNF a book, but this is a soft DNF. This is a book that I'm just not in the mood for it. I was when I asked for the audio from my library before I got sick, and I thought, oh, this would be a good time to read it. And then I got it, and then I just don't feel like it right now. And it's just, my mood is in a different place, but hopefully I'll get back to this, because again, it's a book on a list of, things I want to get done. And that is Kujo by Stephen King. It's not the book's fault. It really is just, I'm not in the mood for a horror right now that has to deal with a rabid dog. So, again, I only read the first 20 pages where we get to the inciting incident. I'm just not in the mood for it. So I just read it one day and read a little bit, and I'm like, well, no, I don't really feel like that. So Kujo will go back on the shelf. It's one I'll probably get to at some point, but it just wasn't right now. I changed my mind. I didn't want to read it. So let's talk about the ones I finished, which, again, I finished Archangel's Lineage. I think I finished it Monday. I think that's when I finished it. Oh, I love this book. This is book 16 in the Guild Hunter series, so do not start here. You would not have a clue what was going on or the characters. I love this one because I wasn't sure where we were going to go with this one, and I'm still, after this, I'm like, where is she going to go from here? Like, I'm not sure how she's going to extend the series. Like, it ends in a way that you're like, I'm not sure. It was interesting. This one I did cry at. This is only the second book this year that has made me tear up pretty bad, and I was really worried about some of my characters near the end of this, which is because, again, I reread this whole series in the last few months. If you've been here, you know I've done that. So I was all ready for this when it arrived end of last week. And then I read it over the weekend, and I think I finished it Monday after work. I'm glad I had the last, I think I had the last 40 or 50 pages when I left work, and again, I read it physically, so I was like, oh, I didn't finish the book, on my breaks. So I was like, oh, I'll come home, and I'm so glad that I did, because it was after that I started tearing up and crying and getting worried about my characters. So this is a copy that I will be taking back to Barnes & Noble because it's falling apart, and I only read it, it fell apart before I really started reading it, so I'm going to take it back. It's just the binding's a little off, and Anyway, but I will get another copy because, again, this is one of my favorite series, one of my favorite authors. I will reread this at some point. I will probably invest in the audiobook so it adds to my collection because I will reread these, especially when the next book comes out. I'll probably do the whole thing all over again, but I just adore this series. Again, I didn't really explain this. This is, again, book 16. So this is has angels, archangels, vampires, and humans who are all dealing with stuff that's going on in the world with power struggles and also a lot of natural things or unnatural things that have to do with nature. And it's just a great urban fantasy / paranormal romance. This one is more, I would think, even though I'm pretty sure it's classified as paranormal romance, because it has, the romance is a high point. But there's certain books like in this series where we're following the main couple that started the whole series, but we get books here and there that have different couples, and then we get to know get their stories. So it's kind of a mismatch between the two. I just consider it an urban fantasy just because the world building is very much a modern world building, but there's angels, archangels, and vampires in the world. And again, our main character, Elena, is a guild hunter, which the series is based off of, which is she hunts vampires who go rogue and stuff. But it's just it's just this series is one of my favorites. Again, not everybody's gonna love it. I thoroughly enjoy this series, and I was glad for book 16 when it came out that I picked it up as soon as I physically got it and read that. So that was, again, one of my best books of the, or my most anticipated book of the year, as well as one of my favorite books so far this year. I haven't had very many hits this year in the 5, but that was definitely a 5. Anyway. I then read Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee. So I'd had this on my shelf for a few months, and I've been trying to get myself to pick it up, and I finally did. I think I was looking for something to read after The Fake Mate and another paranormal of some sort. This is an easy read. This is definitely popcorn read for me. With paranormal romance, we are following Thea, who is a celloist, and she is reaching the end of her college degree, but she has things with her mom being sick that she has a lot of debt, and she has all these jobs trying to get her through. And she is in a quartet to play at this party, but she doesn't know it. But all the people at the party are vampires, and then things go down, and she meets Julian, who is just woken up from a 39-year nap. Because things went down in the 80s and he thought the apocalypse was happening. It was pretty funny. Anyway, but no. So he's now woken up, and there's this thing called the rites that has been enacted because the vampires are depleting in numbers over the years, and they want the vampires to go through these rites in order to find familiars or partners to have children with. And he doesn't want to deal with it, so he asks to fake date with Thea, which causes many, many problems. And this book didn't go the way I planned it. I thought it was. It is a 4-book series, so I wasn't sure when I picked it up if it was going to continue their story throughout all 4 books, but I'm pretty sure it is. I was really surprised, again, where it ended. I had fun with this one. It's not like the greatest book or greatest written anyway, but it was a fun vampire romance, with sexy times and things, and very much he is a multi-billionaire kind of thing, so money is not an object for things, and she is so broke and stuff, so it's kind of her dealing with it. I would say my only critique of this that was really it was a trouble in the very beginning was I felt she was really young because she is only 22, and he is like hundreds of years old. I always have trouble with that with vampire novels if the character who is human is super young, and she's lived life. There's certain things that she has done, there's some things that she hasn't, that makes it a problem later on, but it was just a fun ride. I don't think it was, again, it's not perfect, it's not the best thing ever, yet I did get more of these books in this series because I wanted to continue. So I did enjoy it enough that I definitely wanted to pick up the next one on that one. So I did like that. And this week I did my buddy read with Tia at Journals, or Calendars and Journals, and we did The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley. I've been trying to make my way through the backlist of Susanna Kearsley, and this is one of the books that a lot of people talk about that they really love, and I just hadn't got to it. Several of Susanna Kearsley's have to do with history, like a time slip or some kind of scene in the past. So you get like two timelines, the present and the past, and it has to do with different elements. This one had to do with a Cornwall town, or on the coast, and some smugglers, and this house that is on the hill that overlooks the ocean, and they grow roses there. And so the present timeline is a lot of deal with grief, which I thought was the best part of this book, was the beginning with the grief, and I really enjoyed that. All right, I thought this was going to be a 5-star read for me, but it just didn't in the end. It went into ways I didn't expect it to, with she goes back in time to the like 1715s or so, something like around there. And so it's kind of interesting how things are happening. I don't want to say how that all turns out, or it's not how it turned out that affected my reading. I felt the beginning was just so strong, and then it just was like, it was just fun after that. So I mean, I gave it a 4, but it was not my favorite of the Susanna Kearsley's, but it definitely is one that I would revisit and come back and read it again at some point. But I did enjoy it, and I think we had a fun time with the buddy reads, so I really enjoyed that and got another one done. I think I still have 4 or 5 of her books still to read, so we will see how that goes. I mean, I'm hoping to pick up one more at least this year. If I can pick up more, that'd be great, because again, they're all are kind of historical. There's something in the past, and she just deals, it's always like a slight magical realism or something slightly different. It's not there's always something going on. So as I said, I think my next one to pick up is A Desperate Fortune, so we'll see how that goes at some point. But anyway, so I really enjoyed that and the buddy read. So those are the books that I finished. Not that many. Again, I haven't been listening to audiobooks. I just haven't felt like it. This last week was I was getting over being sick. It just, so I didn't read quite as much. What I am listening to something right now, which I forgot to write down who the narrator is. Anyway, the The Vampire and the Virgin by Carolyn Sparks is the next book in the Love at Stake series. I think this is book 8. Yeah, 8. In the Love at Stake series. It's like a 16-book series with a couple novellas. So Berna at Berna's Bookish Adventures and I are making our way through this series, one book at a time, one a month. So May's book is The Vampire and the Virgin. So we're following Robbie, who had something bad happen to him in the book previous to this one. So he is recovering from that, and he has a lot of anger over what happened, and he is on a Greek island. He's there trying to recuperate, and being watched over by colleagues and stuff. And then the female she is visiting her grandmother, who lives on that Greek island, for a few weeks before she goes back to the States. But she is also having things in her past that somebody is kind of stalking her of some sort. And again, I'm just getting into that. I'm in the middle of what today's pages are. So that's why I'm just over 100 pages. We're supposed to be at 136 today. So I have 30 pages left to read this morning before I'm done with today's pages. So this is going good. Again, these are just fun paranormal romances. Again, Robbie is a vampire. If I forgot to mention that. I'm kind of distracted this morning. It's been an interesting morning. I went and got groceries this morning, and then I just kind of dilly-dallied around the house. I'm like, oh, I need to go film. I'm kind of off. Anyway, point is that this is fun. As I said, we're working on this right now, so I'll be done with that on Wednesday, because we have it split up over 5 days. So anyway, I'm looking forward to finishing that one. I did start The Hollow Dead by Darcy Coates, which is book 4 in the Gravekeeper series. So I've really enjoyed this one. This has to do with Kira, who wakes up near a cemetery, but she doesn't know who she is or what's going on. I mean, she knows her name and that's about it. And she realizes that she can see ghosts. And she is taken in by some of the locals after some people had tried to find her. So she is kind of on the run, kind of hiding. And each book, there's been, as I said, there's been 4 books. This is book 4, and the mystery of who she was, what she's running from, is kind of coming to become clearer, that there's something going on that has to deal with the dead. And definitely this series is going in a direction I did not expect. The 3rd book really was kind of weird. Like, I was like, whoa, this is weird. So this is kind of an aftermath of what happened in book 3. So I don't want to say too much about it. I love the characters. I love her friends that she's met. She's got a kind of interesting cat who can do things, and she, she's in this small little town, so she gets to know kind of some of the people around there, but good and bad, she knows things about them. And it's very, it's, I'm not going to say cozy horror or anything, but it's like, it has the ghostly element, and it's not, it's a fun ride. But I started it this week, but I just haven't come back to it. It's about I'm at 115 pages, so I'm just over a third. So I will come back to this right now. Right now I'm going to read something else because my mind is just pulled to that more. I was hoping, this is a book that I wanted to get to, that I got in as a pre-order this year to be caught up on the series. So again, I'm trying to read books that I pre-ordered. But what I'm reading right now physically is Filthy Rich Vampires, Second Right. So this is the 2nd book in the series, taking off just, I think it's like a month after what happened in the end of the last book. So I was trying to hold off on this, but I bought it on, I think, Thursday. I gave myself a treat after I did my training, after my stressful time of being on the forklift, I let myself go buy some books, and I had some rewards, and I had my birthday reward from Barnes & Noble. So I picked up the whole series. Anyway, so I have all the books now in this series, in this section of the series. There is another series that's connected to this, that's Filthy Rich Fae, which I've already pre-ordered because I'm already enjoying this so much. So anyway, it's interesting because, again, we're following Theo and Julian again, and then we're getting other perspectives. We got at least one other one that I was kind of surprised about, and I'm not sure how that's going to go because I'm not happy with what happened in that perspective. But again, I'm only about 60 pages in from last night, so I've just really started this. So this will be probably the one. I will probably finish this and then come back to the Hollow Dead, or I might read a little bit of each. I don't know. These are both my physical books, as I said, and my audiobook is the other vampire book. I'm reading a lot of vampire, ghosts, other things, and I don't know what I'm going to pick up after that. It depends on my mood, because again, I don't have anything I have to read. I do have some library or Libby audiobooks that I need to read in the next week, because I got them just as I was getting sick, and I thought, oh, I'll get to those. Well, now it's almost 3 weeks later, and they're about to be due. So after I finish this one, I have to try to read the other ones, or at least try them, or else I'll read the books physically. We'll see what happens. Other than that, I don't know. There's so many books I want to read right now. There's just too many to number. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think that's all I read. This week was not a great reading week for me, just because, it was good for what I read. I just meant, I didn't read a whole lot, but I think it's because, again, I'm still getting over being sick, and I'm just tired of it. Again, I feel a lot better today, and my neck moves a little better than it did, but, it's Sunday now, so I'm not going to do a whole lot today. I don't think. I'll just do my few chores, and then I might sit down and just, I have to finish my buddy read for today, the pages. I have 30 pages of here. But then I think I'm probably going to read a good chunk of this one. And if I do want to, I might slip some of this in too, but I don't know. We'll see how I go. Anyway, that's it. I don't think there's anything else going on. I am going to attempt to vlog this week. I'm not sure that's going to work the way that things are going right now. So we will see. I'm going to try. If it doesn't work out, you'll just see a weekly reading update next week, not a vlog. But I don't know. I don't vlog a lot, and I just thought I would try during May. I'm not sure it's going to work. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, my book haul for April will be up later this week, probably Wednesday. That was a lot of books. I bought a lot of books, even though I missed one library book sale, but I think I made up for it. But I did buy a lot. Anyway, so we're going to try not to buy quite that many books this month, even though it's my birthday month. So it's it's probably going to happen anyway. Anyway, so now I'm rambling. That is it. What are you guys reading? How is your May going? Yeah, it's a weird feeling right now. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. So I'm going to go and read some books, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.